Welcome to my first ever manga tournament. Hi everyone, welcome back to How to Train Your Gavin. Yes, this is the first episode of my manga tournament series that I want to do on my channel because I have been getting very quickly obsessed with manga. If you do not know me, and if you do not know my manga journey, the first ever manga I read was back in February 2022, and it was called Dick Fight Island. And it was a revelation, it really was. And then I did read some yaoi during the summer, but I didn't really start falling in love with manga until about 3 months ago with One Piece. I started reading One Piece for the very first time. And oh my gosh, I've never felt joy like it before. And I don't know why One Piece, which is one of the longest running manga series of all time, is my first foray into really loving manga. So I really should have started with something smaller. Alas, it was a recommendation from Murphy Napier and Amber Release. I started reading One Piece because of them. And now I'm currently on the Skypiea arc as of filming this episode. And I'm doing around about 2 to 3 One Piece deep dive reviews every single month on my channel. I go chapter by chapter. So One Piece has taken over my life. In manga, I've started to get a little bit too much of, not gonna lie. I started the year with, I think, 2 manga because I had 2 Kingdom Hearts mangas and I absolutely freaking love Kingdom Hearts so much, oh my god. And now I have like 200. I mean, I haven't actually counted, but I think it's around about 200, not gonna lie. I had to create a whole manga island just to hold them all. And now I want to get into more manga. And I asked you guys, you brilliant people of YouTube, to give me recommendations. And I compiled a list of the top 20 manga recommendations I got, whether it was from the One Piece review comments or whether it was on a community post I posted a few weeks back. But you guys delivered, and I got so many recommendations. Too many recommendations almost, because then I had to narrow it down. And that is where this manga tournament comes in. So let's get into the preliminary round. Now, the preliminary stage consists of the top 20 manga that I got recommended, and I kind of sorted them in order of what I was the most excited for. So I did compile that top 20, and I put them all in a form that I sent out about 2 weeks ago, and I got loads of people to vote on it. Actually, I got nearly 2,000 responses and over 8,000 votes on it. I am overwhelmed with the amount of people who responded to that form. So thank you so much for filling it in if you were one of the people who filled it in. I do want to give some credit to Daniel Green because I did have the idea of putting out a poll and getting people to vote for the manga that I would read next, due to his video of him also getting people to vote for which manga series he would do a deep dive on. But yes, we had a top 20, and through the preliminary round, it got whittled down to the top 8. So I want to go through the top 20 result and the 8 manga series that I will be taste testing in this video. Just a little preface before I get into the top 22. I most likely will read every single one that was in the top 20 at some point. Absolutely will. And I do want to do more episodes of this manga tournament in the future. Like, this episode is mainly just focusing on the manga that was most recommended to me, but I'd love to do episodes on like the most recommended cozy mangas and things like that. You know, I would really love to change things up in future episodes. And if you have any other ideas as well, please let me know down below. I'd love to hear them. But yes, even if something didn't make the top 8, I will definitely still read later down the line. This is just to help me pick which next manga series I read alongside One Piece and live my manga dreams, okay? So let's go through the top 20 then and the results of the preliminary stage. In 20th place is Black Clover with 135 votes and 1.67% of the vote. In 19th place is Blue Exorcist with 176 votes and 2.18% of the vote. In 18th place is Assassination Classroom with 276 votes and 3.41% of the overall vote. In 17th place is My Hero Academia with 302 votes and 3.74% of the total vote. In 16th place is Bleach with 305 votes and 3.77% of the vote. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit disappointed with this result because I did go out my way to buy the entire first box set of Bleach. This was only £89.99 on eBay, okay, and it was sealed. I was not passing up that opportunity, but it looks like I'm gonna put you away for now, unfortunately. It came so low, but it was like the manga that I saw that I was kind of the most interested in. So thanks for that. In 15th place is One Punch Man with 309 votes and 3.82% of the vote. In 14th place is Demon Slayer with 318 votes and 3.93% of the vote. In 13th place is Chainsaw Man with 333 votes and 4.12% of the vote. In 12th place is Vinland Saga with 341 votes and 4.22% of the vote. In 11th place is Jujutsu Kaisen with 4.28% of the total vote and 346 votes overall. In 10th place is Sailor Moon with 347 votes and 4.29% of the vote. During the first week of voting, Sailor Moon was actually 7th place, so it would have made the top 8, and then it just kind of gradually slipped down as more people were voting. So I'm a little bit sad about that, but never mind, I will get to Sailor Moon at some point, I'm sure. And just missing out in the top 8 is Tokyo Ghoul in 9th place with 352 votes and 4.36% of the vote. Commiserations, Tokyo Ghoul, you were so close. You are so close. However, we do have a top 8, and these are the 8 manga series that I will be taste testing in this video by reading their first volume. So in 8th place is Naruto with 386 votes. I'm really excited about this. I think this is one of the top 3 mangas, along with Bleach and One Piece, and 4.78% of the total vote, so it just made it in. In 7th place is Witch Hat Atelier with 399 votes. Is it Witch Hat Atelier? Please let me know down below. But yes, 4.94% of the total vote for Witch Hat Atelier. In 6th place is Berserk with 434 votes. This one looks scary, not gonna lie. It looks more violent than a lot of the other mangas that I've read. Well, aka One Piece. It looks way more violent than that. And of course, it does have a parental advisory sticker on there, so I don't know if I'm old enough to read it actually. And this did get 5.37% of the vote. In 5th place is Monster, and this got 493 votes. I almost didn't get this in time. I ordered it online like 2 weeks ago when I realized that a lot of people were voting for this. I was like, well shit, I'm gonna have to get it, aren't I? And I ordered online, and 2 weeks later, nothing. Hadn't come, and I don't think the bookshop had sent it out yet. And then I kept checking a local bookstore near me, and then one day, which was literally 2 days ago, I saw that it was available online, and so I clicked and collected it, and I went into the store and picked it up. So I did manage to get this, but this was actually the hardest volume to get hold of all the volumes that I'm going to be reading in this video. So this better deliver. And this also got 6.10% of the total vote. In 4th place came Hunter x Hunter with 618 votes. A lot of people said I would love this because I love One Piece, and this is quite similar in some ways. This also got 7.65% of the vote. In 3rd place is Death Note, and this got 632 votes. I have seen this around a lot. I haven't seen any adaptations of it, but I have heard about it, and I heard about it years ago, and I have always been interested in reading it, so I'm really glad this actually came in the top 8. And this also got 7.82% of the vote. In 2nd place is Spy Family, and this one got 754 votes. This one has been so popular this year, and I've seen so many of my favourite booktubers read this as well and love it. So I have such high expectations for this. I cannot wait to read it. And this had 9.33% of the total vote. Which brings us to our first place, our winner of the preliminary round, and that is Fullmetal Alchemist. This one had 826 votes, and I don't know why I'm surprised this came first. It surprised me, and I don't know why. But I'm really excited to read it, and this one had a whopping 10.22% of the total vote. So these are the top 8 manga series that made it through the preliminary round, and now they need to make it through round 1. I also want to preface this by saying I will be doing spoiler-free reviews for all of these mangas, so if you haven't yet read them, and even if you're not that into manga but you just want to watch this video, then that's absolutely fine. I will not spoil anything for you. I want this to be a fun, relaxed video, and then whichever one wins, I will do, you know, the full-on spoiler chapter by chapter review that I do for One Piece, so you have that to look forward to, and all of the stakes are in this game. I am excited to see what will be battling what. So now I need to pair off the manga series so that they go head to head in the tournament bracket. But how am I going to do that fairly? Because I thought, should I try and pair off the ones that are similar with one another and then work off from there? But then I think some of them don't really go well together. So I thought the only fair thing that I can do for this tournament bracket is to put all of the names in a hat, and I will be choosing which 2 manga series are battling in the first round. So let's just make sure that I'm not looking. Let's just move it around a little bit. And okay, have I picked 1 or 2? I think it's just 1. Okay, so this is the very first manga series that I'm starting off with. Oh, cool, it's Spy Family. This is like the most popular one, so we're starting off with that one apparently. And what manga series will it be battling in the first round? This is actually making me very, very nervous. I'm not even gonna lie. Okay, let's try this one. Gosh, I almost dropped the hat. Don't drop, please. What is it? Okay, Spy Family is battling Berserk. I don't think they are compatible whatsoever, but that's round 1. Spy Family versus Berserk is the very first round. This could go tits up for all I know. Which manga series is battling which? And we're going to go for this one. Try not to put this down. And, which Hat Atelier? Which Hat Atelier is going to be in round 2? And which series will it be competing against? Let's have a look. Sorry if the camera's shaking, but so am I. Let's see. Can't open it and I don't want to put my hand out of shot in case you think I'm cheating. Fullmetal Alchemist. Fullmetal Alchemist. This was the one that came first in the preliminaries. Witch Hat Atelier versus Fullmetal Alchemist. Again, I don't think they're very compatible. Worst idea I've ever done. Let's see what round 3 will bring. The first series that we will be checking out is Naruto. Ooh, okay. Popular one. One of the top 3. So Naruto will be competing against... let's have a look. What's this one? Hunter. Oh, I feel like that's bad. I don't think that's right. But, you know, that's what the manga had chose. Which means we're only left with 2. The 4th and final round will be Monster versus... And actually this one really fits. I feel like this one fits. I feel like they're both dark horror type mangas. Death Note. So Monster versus Death Note for the 4th and final round. That one seems perfect to me. It's just the other 3 that don't really fit. Like, if I had a choice, I would probably put Witch Hat Atelier with Spy Family. I would have them 2 battle it out. Berserk and maybe Fullmetal Alchemist. And then I feel like Naruto and Hunter x Hunter fit quite well together. I would have changed the first 2 rounds if I could, but I'm not going to do that because I'm not a cheater. We stick with the hand we're dealt. So, to run down then, round 1 will be Berserk versus Spy Family. Round 2 will be Fullmetal Alchemist versus Witch Hat Atelier. Round 3 will be Naruto versus Hunter x Hunter. And round 4 will be Death Note versus Monster, which I think is actually quite genius. I mean, I might be totally wrong actually on that, but I think this one is good round. So I'm going to go off and I'm going to read some manga. Honestly, I've been so excited to do this video for so long now. If you do end up enjoying this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribing if you haven't already. Now let's get into the battle rounds. I freaking love manga. I was going to do this update earlier because I have finished the first 2 books in the first round, but the next door neighbours are getting their windows done, so the scaffolding, they're making so much noise, and so I couldn't come straight into it after reading each book, because I was going to plan on updating you on Spy Family as soon as I finished it, and then updating you on Berserk as soon as I finished it, but I ended up reading both, and I decided, you know what, let's just do one update for the round and tell you what I thought of each book, what each book is about, and which one is going to be progressing into round 2. So I read Spy Family first. It is so adorable. It's so adorable. It was amazing. I loved it. It was... I wasn't expecting it to go the way it did. I don't know what I was expecting from this, to be honest. But we do follow Lloyd, and he is a spy. His alias is Twilight. And the people he works for have given him a mission. He has to secure himself a fake family in order to infiltrate this private school, this kid's private school, because there is somebody there is a target who they need to get close to, and yeah, his mission is to find a child and to find a wife. And at first I was like, okay, that's fine. And then he does end up coming across Anya, and she is the child that he ends up adopting, and what he doesn't know about her is that she's a telepath. And he does end up finding a wife. Her name is Yo, I think. I might be butchering so many pronunciations, I apologise, but I believe her name is Yo, and what he doesn't know about her is that she's an assassin. So the 3 of them in this now new family unit have a secret from one another, and it just creates the most hilarious outcomes, because again, Anya is a telepath, so she does know about her new mum and her new dad, and that leads to so many great funny moments between them, and just how unaware the adults are in the situation, and it's the kid who is the most aware, even though they think she is the most unaware. It's just so fun, so good, so heartwarming as well. It touched me. It touched my cold, dead heart. And to see them get a little bit closer, and to see, well, the start of this new relationship was so beautiful. It was so good. And the story as well, the story is fantastic. I love the whole spy angle of it. I haven't read a good spy novel. I don't think I've ever read a good spy novel. I love spy films. Like, Spy Kids was my favourite film as a kid. Spy Kids 2, though, might be my favourite. In Spy Kids 3D, game over, iconic. So this does fill in a huge gap for me because, again, I don't think I've read anything spy related. I know what I might have done and I might have just forgotten. But this is just so good. It was brilliant. I loved it. And I want to know more about what happens next. I want to know more about how this family come together and what more happens between them. Do the secrets get revealed? Like, what's going on? I need to know. This was a great first volume, honestly, and I really would love to continue reading it. However, it does need to win this round in order for me to read it anytime soon. Whatever loses, honestly, like, in the future, I will still read the other, whichever one it is, because yes, I also did love Berserk. I thought it was a totally different style, whereas this one was extremely heartwarming. The first thing I see in this is an ass. A guy having sex, essentially. That was like the first thing you see. As soon as you open it and you go to the first panel, boom. You know, you go from this wholesome family with some violence. There is some violence because, again, we do have an assassin. There was, like, blood and stuff on the walls and stuff. But it was kind of minimal compared to, like, literally the first panel of this. And honestly, the violence and the gore of this is, oh my gosh. So we do follow Guts, and he is a black swordsman. I'm not too sure of the terminology of this. The world building is still quite minimal as well. Like, we're being sort of introduced to the world, but not being told too much at once. So I'm kind of trying to observe everything that's going on as it's happening, especially through Guts as well, because he is the person we're following, and he isn't really a likable character. He is a huge dick, and he does not treat other people very well. However, I find him so interesting and complex. I think, and he most likely does, like, have this really tragic and strange backstory that I'm really interested in uncovering. I do think there must be loads of reasons why he is the way he is and why he treats people the way he does. And even then, we do get glimpses of him being a really good person. And every now, it's hard though, he's like a very weird character, because then we do also get back to the times where he takes it all back and he's kind of calling people small fry and ants, and he looks down on a lot of people, and he doesn't really care about the lives of others, but he's still our hero of the story. So I found that really interesting. This world is very dark. It feels very medieval. I don't know when it's set, but it feels medieval. It feels, you know, a little bit like Black Cauldron-esque, because again, like, a lot of the imagery was very dark in a fantastic way. The story was I'm really interested to know what's going to happen next, because Guts is trying to find someone, or at least he's got this vendetta against someone, and he's just kind of killing his way to someone. And the person I think he's after is, like, it has, like, a tendency to like human flesh, and it's, like, very gross and visceral, and a lot of the scenes in this are very visceral, don't get me wrong. But Guts does also meet this elf character called Puck, and Puck is well, constantly naked for one, so that's something. But also Puck is someone who is, like, more cheery and upbeat. Puck is also helpful because they can help heal and stuff, so that's all good. And Puck does balance out Guts's kind of darkness with some, like, little spark of light. This feels like such a dangerous world as well, because Guts has this mark on him, a brand that kind of attracts demons and really terrifying foes. And there was a fantastic scene with reanimated skeletons that I really loved. And there was this big serpent with a head in its mouth that could speak, and it was so strange. Like, the character designs of this are strange, but really awe-inspiring, and I couldn't keep my eyes off it. Honestly, I love the darkness of it. I don't know if I should invest in deluxe editions in the future if this one does end up getting picked from this first round, because I did find it a little hard to see some of the finer details, because a lot happens in a lot of the panels. There is a lot of fighting. There is so much packed in that I think maybe the deluxe editions, with them being a little bit bigger, would help me see what's going on more. But I do love collecting single volumes. But I've only just started collecting manga, really, so what do I know? But if you do think the deluxe editions are better, please let me know. But yes, this took me by surprise, and honestly, such a huge change to Spy Family. In this first round, two totally different vibes we are going for. So how in the world do I pick out of these two? How? They are so different and I love them both. I really do. I think what it comes down to is the story and what I want to see more of, the unanswered questions, the things that I need answered right here, right now. So which do I feel like I need the next part right now, instantly? I need to know more. So the manga series that will be the winner of the first round and will be progressing to the second round is Berserk. Oh. I need to know what happens next. I need to know more about this world. I love the violence of it, really. I mean, usually I'm a really nice, upbeat person, but I feel like this will ground me. Maybe Berserk is the guts character that I need in my life to ground my light and positivity. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, this still might lose in round 2, but I have this affinity to this world, and I just think this world is going to be so incredible to explore. And I think this has been running for a while, so there's more to it than Spy Family. But with Spy Family, again, I do want to read all of it at some point too. I will buy the rest of the volumes. I honestly want to know more about that world too. But I think I know Berserk is the winner of the first round. Commiseration, Spy Family, honestly. And I feel bad as well because I know how popular this is right now. And I know that pretty much everyone's reading it and it's been so hyped. And I want to read this so bad. There's nothing else to say. You both did fantastic, and yeah, it was a tough round. It was a very tough round to begin with. So let's get into the next phase of the first round with Hat Atelier and Fullmetal Alchemist. I'm scared of this one as well. I'm scared of putting these ones two together. When I filmed the update for the Spy Family vs. Berserk round, I kind of knew before I even started filming what was going to win. I kind of don't really know what I'm going to pick out of these two, in all honesty. I feel like I'm going to have to talk about them and then decide based on gut instinct in that moment. This was a kind of tough one. So which Hat Atelier first then? I got such Owl House vibes from it. I really did. I love Owl House so much. And the kind of way that magic works in this was very reminiscent of Owl House. I think this came first though. I do think this started before Owl House, but I'm not 100% sure. But this one follows Coco, and she is just a regular girl in a world where witches exist and other magical things exist too. And she and her mum live alone, and they do a lot of kind of like seamstress kind of stuff. And one day, Master Quifrey? That's really hard to say. I think it's Master Quifrey, but I could be totally wrong. He is a witch and he comes to Coco's house looking for supplies and things. And a series of events happen that lead Coco to become Master Quifrey's apprentice. It's not really that straightforward, but that's kind of the main gist of the start of this. And I adored the way that this world unfolds, and I love the kind of way magic is part of it too. It feels very cozy, feels very... I don't know, it's like with Coco, she wants to be a witch and she's getting the opportunity to become a witch. And she is like living out my dream. And I love stories where people are introduced into the world of magic. So we're kind of looking through her eyes, like as a normal person, and seeing magic unfold and kind of being part of that world. So I do love her journey and I do love Master Quifrey. There are some side characters well I've been introduced to. This volume as well ended on quite a cliffhanger too. I'm really interested by a lot of the things that have been set up in this volume. Some mysteries I think we're going to get back to very soon, well hopefully very soon, but there are quite a few intriguing things that I'm dying to find out about, and the cliffhanger as well is so good. So I enjoyed it immensely. And then we do have Fullmetal Alchemist as well. This was also very good, and I really enjoyed the main characters. So we have Edward and Alphonse, I think it's pronounced, but I could be totally wrong. And they are the Elric brothers. And when they were younger, they dabbled in some alchemy, or they tried to do an experiment, and it went awry. Alphonse is now a soul living in a suit of armor, so he doesn't actually have a body anymore. And then Edward, he lost an arm and a leg. Alchemy is a huge part of this world, and it's almost magic-like, so I guess there isn't too much of a huge difference between these two stories in the way that we have a sort of magic system in place. In this one, yeah, it is involving alchemy and kind of the science behind it. And there is a philosopher's stone as well that Edward is looking for. And there are so many, again, like interesting things that I'm looking forward to finding out about in the future as well, and to see where our brothers go, because their relationship, their sort of banter was so great to watch unfold, and there were so many scenes between them that I was just kind of chuckling along with, and I just can't wait to see more of them. Had a few little fight scenes as well and some exciting moments, especially on a train. I do think that the Fullmetal editions have 6 chapters in the first volume. This was only 4 chapters, so I feel like a little bad that this was kind of maybe a shorter volume than it's probably used to. I don't know. I'm just rating it based on this volume alone. But I do think the Fullmetal edition has more chapters in it. But I do feel like I got a really good sense of the story, and I am looking forward to reading more of it. So that means, what am I going to pick? What's going to win this round between Witch Hat Atelier and Fullmetal Alchemist? Fullmetal Alchemist was the most voted for series to read, and it did win the popular vote. It won the popular vote. And I do want to take that into account considering over 800 people voted for it. And this, I think, it came 6th or 7th, I can't remember now. But which one do I think was better for me? Which one do I think had the better first volume? Which one do I want to say more of immediately? So the winner of this round between Witch Hat Atelier and Fullmetal Alchemist is... Witch Hat Atelier. Oh, I'm sorry. I did really like this. I just didn't love it as much as Witch Hat Atelier. I'm so sorry. I'm sure the series does get a whole lot better as it goes on, and I believe the series is complete too. So the fact that it's complete is a huge bonus for me. I really do want to try and read something from start to finish, a manga series that is complete and not currently still ongoing One Piece. But to be able to have a story that has a beginning, a middle, and an end. So I will definitely be reading this entire series, probably after whatever wins this manga tournament, just because this did win the popular vote, and I do want to honour that. But yes, Witch Hat Atelier does advance to the next round. So now we have Naruto versus Hunter x Hunter. Here we go again. I got so distracted because Roger's Base ended up going live and doing a manga tournament bracket for the best manga of 2022. But I subscribed to Roger's Base a few months back because of One Piece. But I can't watch any of these videos because I don't want spoilers, so I need to catch up the series first and then watch his channel. I've subscribed to quite a few manga tubers actually, and I'm just waiting for the day where I catch up to One Piece and then I can watch all the videos I can. Anyway, we're not talking about One Piece today, as much as I try and fit that in every single video I do now. I did read Naruto and Hunter x Hunter. Starting off with Naruto, this followed a young boy called Naruto, and he is training to be a ninja, and there was something quite shocking that was revealed about him. And I have never seen the anime of this. I do think this is quite a popular anime from back in the day, and I never saw it. I was a big fan of Pokemon, but that was pretty much the only thing I watched. Pokemon and Digimon, I think, were the only two things I watched anime-wise back in the day. So I honestly had no idea what to expect from this story. But I was really digging the whole ninja aspect of it. Main characters adored. I thought Naruto was such a fantastic protagonist. He had such a deep and kind of a dark backstory that made me feel so much for him. I felt awful for him. I felt proud of him when he did things that were, you know, well done that he did. He's such a trickster as well. Like, he's such a little shit, but it just made him so much more endearing. I thought he was such a great protagonist. And I really liked the other characters as well. It was Sasuke and Sakura. And Sakura, she wasn't really a good character in this thing. I didn't love her, but I definitely see potential in her, and I think she will hopefully have a great character arc and get a lot of great character development in the future. But Sasuke I absolutely adored. I love the way that he was just so cool and chill, and the friendship / rivalry between Sasuke and Naruto was again so good. I thought it was brilliantly written and greatly illustrated as well. I thought it was really good. There were a lot of moments where I kind of wasn't sure what was going on because there's a lot of misdirection. There's a lot of things that happen that makes you kind of doubt what you're saying, which is so purposeful, I think, especially with the ninja narrative of it. It's supposed to be like that. But I did feel I was stumbling a little bit at certain points. But it was very well illustrated and I thought it was really good. I really was endeared by the story, and I really do think that I would love the series when and if I read more. And then I read Hunter x Hunter. Great. It honestly did remind me a little bit of One Piece in a way. It felt like it had that adventure. I really liked the way it was set up. In this we follow Gon, and this is a world full of hunters. Hunters, I don't know why, but I got like kind of Pokemon vibes a little bit, like, you know, Pokemon trainer. They go out into the world and people are training to be hunters. Gon's father used to be a hunter, so now Gon wants to be a hunter himself, so he goes off to do the exam, to train to be a hunter. And the first volume covered a little bit of the exam. It was very intense and very interesting, and I really liked the other characters that were introduced during this time too. I think they will add a lot to the series moving forward. But Gon as well is just a great protagonist too. I feel like pretty much all of the series that I've read in this video have had fantastic protagonists. Each have been complex or different and just so good. I've really enjoyed each and every single one. I really feel the potential of this adventure and what we will probably see moving forward. I'm so interested by the whole magical beast aspect of it. It kind of tripped me up every now and then and kind of what it was doing with the story, and I love that. It really kept me on my toes too. So another great manga. But which one do I choose to move forward? Which one progresses from this round? Again, I am torn. I'm all out of faith. This is how I feel. They both progress. No, I feel like this is a bit more of a classic one. I don't know how long Hunter x Hunter has been going for. In fact, I feel like both of them have probably been going for a little while. I think both of them have quite a few volumes. I think this one's finished. I think this one is still ongoing, but I could be totally wrong. As you can tell, I didn't do much research before this, but I don't want to accidentally come across spoilers or anything like that. And I don't want the length of the manga as well to affect my rating of them and my want to read them, because it doesn't really matter if it's short or long. Naruto or Hunter x Hunter, the winner of this round is Hunter x Hunter. Oh, it pains me to say because I read this and then I was like, I don't know how Hunter x Hunter is going to be better than this. And then I do feel like it had a little bit of an edge. I love things with trials or a competition between people, and this one had a great one with the Hunter's exam, which still hasn't finished yet. I'm dying to know what happens next. I'm dying to see Gon's journey and all of that, but there was something so interesting about Naruto, and we find out something huge about him too quite early on, and I want to know more about that. I want to know more about this world. This is killing me. Why am I doing this stupid manga tournament bracket to decide only one series out of this? I am in agony over this. But unfortunately, yes, Naruto is knocked out of the competition. Hunter x Hunter progresses to the next round. And so the final phase of the first round is between Monster and Death Note, which gives me an idea that I should probably do a horror episode of this and do a manga tournament bracket for horror series that I should read. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's focus on this, read Monster, read Death Note, and see which one of the final nominees of the first round will make it through. I mean, firstly, I want to apologise for the fact that I have not been dressing professionally for this video. I've been in my pyjamas, dressing gowns, hoodies, because it's so cold. It's actually currently snowing right now. I did finish the fourth phase of the first round, which was Monster versus Death Note, and I have so many thoughts. Monster, firstly, I adore Grey's Anatomy, for instance, and I love the fact that we follow a doctor. His name was Dr. Tenma, I believe, and he's a fantastic surgeon. He is the one who the hospital director goes to for the really tough and the most high profile cases. In one night, Dr. Tenma has a decision to make, either to save the life of a boy who's been shot through the forehead or the life of the mayor. And he ends up going for saving the life of this boy because he came to the hospital first. And there was like this whole drama about, you know, ethics in the workplace before this too. What I really love about this, and I did only read half of this because that was the first volume, like the first 8 chapters, what what I loved about this was that it wasn't like fast-paced or anything like that. In fact, I thought it was really cleverly plotted. I thought the pacing was fantastic. And even though it felt very subtle, like especially compared to say like Death Note, where things like really go a little bit crazy quite quickly, this one was like a slow burn almost. Like I wasn't sure what was going on, and it was just interesting nonetheless. And when there is a manga or a novel that I read and it is slow and there's not a lot happening, but it can still hold your interest, that's when I know it's a good manga / novel. So I really did enjoy the fact that the story wasn't just slap me in the face. And there was like a really interesting thing that was starting to happen, and I am so goddamn intrigued to find out what happens next. I've said this about every single manga that I've started in this vlog. Every single one I could definitely see me reading in the future. But I thought the characters were fantastic, the main character was great, and yeah, I really can't wait to find out what happens next. I had no idea what this was about going into it, and I still kind of don't really know what's going on, but we did go like 9 years in the future as well, because after he saved this boy's life, 9 years into the future, and there are people dying, like couples dying who don't have children, and Dr. Tenma is kind of like thrust into this world again. Again, I have no idea what to expect going forward from this, but yeah, that was that one. I read that one first. And then Death Note, again, I've never read this before, I've never seen any adaptations before, but I know this is extremely popular and a lot of people know about it. And yeah, I really enjoyed it too. So yeah, we follow a boy called Light, and he finds this Death Note notebook that got dropped by a Shinigami, a death god. And this notebook means that you can write anyone's name in, and as long as you can picture them in your mind, then that person will die. And you can also write how they die and things like that. If you don't write anything other than their name, then they will just die in 40 seconds from a heart attack. So like, I really enjoyed that aspect of it. I thought that opens up so many possibilities for the future, and it's a really scary thought to have your life in someone else's hands. And I thought it would be a lot more, well, because Light, I don't think this is a spoiler, Light is going after criminals. So, like, he sees himself as some sort of hero. And I really love the dichotomy between Light and the police and L. There is someone called L who is investigating, and we have no idea who L is. But there is, like, good versus bad, like, what's morally right and what's morally grey, things like that. I really love the dichotomy between those two. It was so exciting and fast-paced, definitely a lot more faster-paced than Monster. I'm invested to see whether Light will get away with this or not. And L, as well, is doing a fantastic job at investigating, because Elle has seen things that I probably would have missed if I was an investigator. So there is so much to really like about this as well. I can see why it's so popular. Oh, I have another job on my hands, don't I? Which one do I advance from the first round into the second? This is like the hardest part. Like, I hear this, I feel like I'm on like the X Factor and I'm at the judges' houses and I'm picking who would go through the live shows. And this is just extremely, extremely tough, man. Right, okay. I think I made a decision. The manga that is advancing from the first round is Monster. I honestly loved the setting, the slow burn of the story. I'm so intrigued to know what's gonna happen next. I'm in love with this one. I mean, I did really enjoy Death Note, don't get me wrong. I thought this was another really fantastic start. Very exciting. But I feel like I can wait. I feel like I can wait to read the rest of this, whereas this one, I feel like I don't think I can wait as long. So Monster is definitely going through to the next round. So that means Spy Family, Fullmetal Alchemist, Naruto, and Death Note have been eliminated. I am so sorry. But also, I do want to take a moment to talk about the mangakas who have created these mangas and illustrated them. They are gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, and I haven't even mentioned them once, and I'm kicking myself because I'm like, why? The art style of all of them have been so super fantastic and engrossing. I haven't disliked a single one. Kentaro Miura, and my pronunciations are probably going to be shite until I can like research this, but Kentaro Miura, honestly, I love the dark art style of this. It felt classic. It felt a little, not exactly Dungeons and Dragons-esque, but like Swords and Sorcery-esque, but very dark. Oh, Witch Hat Atelier, Kamome Shirahama. Oh my god, so gorgeous. The illustrations, absolutely wonderful. I love the lines of these. I love how detailed and rich it looks. This was honestly probably the most gorgeous of all the illustrations of all the mangas I read in this video. Yoshihiro Togashi, Hunter x Hunter. Oh, I mean, I love the character designs in this. I felt like each character was unique and interesting in just a really beautiful world that they've set up. Monster 2, Naoki Urasawa. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous girls. Characters were expressive and I felt so much emotion through these panels. Absolutely wonderful. And then even the ones that were eliminated, Tatsuya Endo for Spy Family. Seriously, bloody love this. You know what, of all the mangas that I've eliminated so far, Spy Family is probably the one that I'm the most hurt about. Fullmetal Alchemist as well, Hiromu Arakawa. Oh, I, again, love the world. Absolutely love the world and adore the characters. Naruto, Masashi Kishimoto. Oh, like, I need to get back into this world. The art style is gorgeous. I mean, for Death Note, the story is by Sugumi Oba and the art is by Takeshi Obata. They both did a fantastic job at writing and illustrating. Loved it. So I did just want to take that moment to acknowledge the mangakas and to give them all the love because they deserve it. They really do. They make me want to read more manga because of how gorgeous and beautiful they are. Anyway, it's time for round 2. I won't be reading volume 2 of each of these books and doing it that way. I wasn't sure how I was going to set round 2 out when we get back to the mangas that won round 1. I think I'm just going to continue going like, oh, I prefer this volume over that volume, or I want to know more about this world rather than that world and stuff like that. I think that's probably the best way I'm doing it in this episode, but maybe in future episodes I might change up the format. If you have any ideas, please let me know. But the first phase of round 2, we have Berserk versus Witch Hat Atelier. Okay, both really different mangas. Like, you could not get more different. And I just love so much about each of these. I love the world of both of them. I feel like both of them have such fantastic worlds. And I can imagine this probably gets a little bit darker as it goes on. And this one is just dark from the very beginning. Oh, but, oh God, like, this is another big decision. Oh, which one do I think I'm more intrigued by and want to know more about ASAP? I think I know. The manga that's going through to the final is... Berserk. I just, again, there's something about the darkness of Berserk and that world that has really drawn me in, and I need to know more about the main character. He intrigued me to no end. But Witch Hat Atelier, when I want coziness, when I want something a little bit lighter and beautiful, this is the one I go to. I love the story of it as well. Oh man, okay. Berserk is the one going through to the final. And then Hunter x Hunter versus Monster. Oh. Again, I couldn't get more different. We have like a really character-driven, intriguing story in Monster. In Hunter x Hunter, I have the incredible adventure and fantasy that I absolutely love and adore. And I just think I don't know anymore. This is hard. This is awful. Okay, the manga that is going through to the final to face off with Berserk is... 2 seconds, I need to drink my coffee. I'm getting so nervous. Oh no, I'm so sorry, Monster. Like, seriously, I need to know more about this incredible world, but I just, I can't explain it. I have this gut instinct that I feel like Hunter x Hunter could potentially be one of my favourite manga series of all time. I just get that feeling from it. And it has everything that I love in a story. The adventure, the grand setting off on a brand new adventure with this incredible world. It's here. It's right here. So commiserations, Monster. I will get to you at some point. Okay, so now it's time for the final. Honestly, I feel like I should have something a lot more grand for this instead of me just sitting here in my dressing gown. Especially since this will decide the next manga series that I'll be reading alongside One Piece that I do bigger videos on. Berserk, versus Hunter x Hunter. This is the final, and I feel like Hunter x Hunter is definitely more my vibe, and it would fit very well with One Piece, but I don't know if I should read it alongside One Piece, and maybe it's like too much of a good thing at once. However, I still believe this could be one of my favourite manga series of all time. It sparked in me adventure, and adventure is like my favourite type of story. Berserk is out of my comfort zone. Berserk is dark. Berserk is incredible. And I feel like I would have a tougher time reading it. I'm a little bit intimidated by the fan base, not gonna lie. I mean, I'm intimidated by all manga fan bases in all honesty. Like, I love the YouTube community and I love like the One Piece community, for instance. You guys have been fantastic. But I'm intimidated by both communities, actually. Oh god. But at the same time, I do love a challenge. I do love a challenge. And I just need to give both of them a try and just see how it goes. But there can only be one winner. There can only be one winner in this video, in this tournament. And so, the winner of my first episode of my manga tournament and the next big manga series that I read alongside One Piece with the in-depth reviews is... I'm weighing it up in my head still. I thought this would be easier. I genuinely did. I genuinely thought this would be easier. But based on the first volume alone, the winner of the first manga tournament is Berserk. I fell in love with the style. Honestly, the style was incredible. Love the darkness of it. The story is so intriguing. There's going to be so much more coming up. I just feel it. The main character intrigued me to no end. And I think if I read Hunter x Hunter alongside One Piece, I would probably get sick of both. Hunter x Hunter, you came runner-up, but you are not runner-up in my heart, okay? I do believe I will love this, and I will definitely read this entire series one day. I genuinely believe that. At the minute, and when the new year comes, and I'm still making my way through One Piece, I think Berserk would be a great distraction from it and a great way of exploring a different kind of manga. So it's like a lot more grown up, a lot more mature, and I will be able to find my feet more with it and to see exactly what I love about manga, because I am still figuring out the mangas that I love, the story styles that I love, the illustration styles that I love. It's still all brand new to me. It was just such a great first volume, okay? Taking into account this is how it turned out. We had Spy Family in 8th, Fullmetal Alchemist in 7th, Naruto in 6th, Death Note in 5th, Hat Atelier in 4th, Monster in 3rd, Hunter x Hunter runner-up, and Berserk was the winner. I don't know if I've made the biggest mistake in my life, but we're gonna see how it goes. I did really enjoy every single one of these volumes. I really did. I genuinely think I will love all of these series if I read more of them, which I will. I definitely will read more of these. So if your favourite lost, I do apologise, but I definitely will get to it at some point because I genuinely want to try every single series, like more. Not just the first volumes, but more. Because I know it usually takes maybe around about 3 volumes to really get an idea of how a manga series is going to go. And I definitely think I need to give these more of a chance to. Berserk is the ultimate champion of the first episode. Let me know if you enjoyed this or if you think I should try and change the style up later on. I do think I want to do more episodes where I do like horror series, maybe sports manga, romance, yaoi, like all of the other kind of styles of manga that there are, and there are so many. And I would take all feedback and constructive criticism on board. I really would. Like, this is my first time doing something like this, and I need to learn. And you can expect to see some Berserk videos starting maybe around about January or February, depending on how my schedule's looking. But this will be the next big manga series that I read. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to leave this video a like if you enjoyed and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave all the comments down below. Let me know how you found these manga first volumes and if you've agreed, disagree. Let me know if one of your favourite series is here and tell me all about it. I'd love to chat manga to you. A huge thank you to my patrons for supporting my channel. If you'd like to join my Patreon or follow me on any social media, then all the links are down in the description box. But yeah, I hope I will see you in the next video. Bye!